of us in Australia, we're beginning the last day of the year, saying goodbye to 2020, getting ready to welcome 2021. So what better way to end the old year than by practicing the Eightfold Noble Path that the Buddha gave us as the way that leads out of suffering to peace, happiness. So beginning the day with morning chanting, reflections, recollecting the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, and cultivating the thought of universal or unconditioned loving kindness. This is setting our minds up in a very wholesome, skillful way from the beginning of the day. So bring your attention to your body and posture. Bring your attention to the feeling of the in-breath and the out-breath. Sometimes when you practice mindfulness of breathing, you can do it in conjunction with the cultivation of loving kindness. As you breathe in, you reflect, may I be well. As you breathe out, may I be free from suffering. If you find it helpful, you can maybe move your attention to the center of your chest, your heart. Maintain the reflection, may I be well, may I be free from suffering. But calming body and mind from the heart region. Maintaining mindfulness at that point, maintaining the simple recitation, may I be well, may I be free from suffering. If we maintain mindfulness on that thought and that feeling that we're generating at the heart, it becomes something tangible, a cool, pleasant feeling where all our energy has gathered together. And we maintain the recitation to keep our mindfulness with the object. So may I be well, may I be free from suffering. And if you practice this regularly, this feeling, this tangible feeling of goodwill, calm, cool, peaceful energy will become clearer. One thing you notice is when the mind becomes settled, calm, mindfulness is present, then this cool, peaceful energy that arises quite naturally as the result of being mindful of your object will, as if, flow out from the heart region around the body. So you get this feeling of fullness in body and mind. And one characteristic of this peaceful energy that comes as a result of practicing mindfulness is that it seems to flow to where it's needed. So particularly practicing mindfulness of breathing or the cultivation of metta, goodwill, find that this cool energy, the peaceful state of mind, has a healing property, so it can flow to wherever there may be something wrong in the body, pain, illness, injury, headaches, stress-related conditions and so on. Our own energy from cultivating mindfulness with the thought of metta, goodwill, can actually flow subtly to that point. Sometimes you find as you keep practicing, headaches disappear. Various aches and pains can disappear or at least be less intense. And this is true metta, cultivating metta for oneself will improve one's health and well-being, as well as the qualities of mindfulness, clear comprehension. Having established metta for yourself, in your own body and mind, then take up the practice of spreading it to others. So if it helps, you can individually, one by one, think of the people closest to you first. Think of a parent, your mother, your father. Can think of them together or just start by thinking them one at a time. May my mother be well. May my mother be free from suffering. And hold her image in your mind in whatever way seems appropriate. You can put a smile on her face, but just hold your attention on the image of your mother and wishing her to feel well and be free from stress, free from suffering. Similarly to your father. If your parents have passed away, then just share the merits of your practice today with them. If they're alive still, then one by one wish them this same feeling of wellness, freedom from suffering. think of other family members one by one. Brother, sister, children, grandparents if they're still alive. Uncles, aunties, cousins. One by one, think of their faces. Wish them well. If any ill will, anger arises as you bring up the thought of each person, then calm the mind. Forgive. Let go of the past. If there has been a cause for ill will, by cultivating the thought, may that person be well, free from suffering, it will heal your mind, and it will only improve the relationship with that person. The new year is a good time to let go of past ill will, the habit of clinging to negative perceptions and thoughts about other people. Clean the slate, start afresh. Let go of the past. Bring the mind to the present moment. At this very moment, there's no need to have ill will for anyone, because you're sitting peacefully. You're not under threat. You're not having to deal with a difficult situation. So this is an ideal time to cultivate loving kindness for yourself, for all your family members, and then extend it out to friends, to friends, colleagues, neighbors, people you know but don't know very well. And gradually to all beings, all humans, everywhere. May they be well, free from suffering, free from coronavirus, free from danger, distress. May all animals be well. May all beings in all realms, lower, higher, may they be well, free from suffering. So at least at this time, on this day, you can be sure you've cultivated the thought of loving kindness for yourself, for others. And the more effort we put into this, establishing mindfulness on the thought, may all beings be well, may all beings be free from suffering, making the mind firm and steady. Then this is a powerful conditioning force in our own minds. It's the cause for this same thought to arise again. It's a cause for the factors of samadhi to arise. If you're truly mindful of the thought of loving kindness, maintaining mindfulness, putting forth effort, abandoning the hindrances as you do it, the distracting thoughts or sleepiness. Even the practice of metta can wake you up if you're sleepy. Can calm your mind from restlessness, worry. Can bring up a sense of inner peace and contentment, so you're not seeking anything with sensual desire. If you're thinking of other people, you're just thinking of them with kindness, compassion, wishing them well, not seeking anything from other people in terms of gratification. Can calm your mind so doubts and uncertainty settle. As you develop this meditation, the 5 hindrances can fade as you maintain mindfulness in the present moment. And the Buddha said, if you were to die today, for whatever reason, if this was your last day, you maintain this thought of metta, then you would die well, peacefully. Whatever the cause of death, your mind will be peaceful. Whatever difficulty you might encounter today, if you meet it with metta, usually becomes the cause for quick resolution of that difficulty, at least internally in your mind. You don't turn it into suffering. Don't dwell on experiences with negativity. Don't look to harm other people or take advantage of other people. The more often you practice this, the more familiar your mind becomes with the thought of loving kindness for yourself, for others. You get to know that mental state. You can cultivate it at will. You can return to it if you have lost your mindfulness and become angry or upset. It doesn't take long for you to return to the state of goodwill. And having established mindfulness on this thought of goodwill, maintaining it, and letting go of the hindrances, then the mind is ready to contemplate the Dhamma. And wisdom can develop looking at aspects of our existence that are difficult to look at, difficult to know and see and understand. To contemplate the impermanence of the physical body, It's the end of the old year. We're another year older. This body has aged another year. Quite often it's aging and we don't notice. It's just a subtle process going on every day. This body is aging, going closer towards death, silently, and often we don't realize it. But having established the mind of goodwill, metta, now we can contemplate the nature of this body, as we just chanted, rupang anicang. Form is impermanent. It cannot last. It cannot remain the same. Its nature is impermanent. It changes. You can't reclaim the past. Make yourself young again. However much your mind desires that or identifies with being young, the things you can do when you're young, you can't go back in time. So better to mindfully observe the changing nature of form, physical form, which is impermanent, which is suffering because it's subject to change, degeneration, and is not self. One day this body won't be here. When we die, it will be cremated or buried or put out somewhere, and it will return to the elements. So we say we just borrow the 4 elements for one lifetime. Earth, air, fire, water. Come together, we keep them going with food and drink, but we're just borrowing them. We're just in rented accommodation. We don't own it. And one day we'll have to leave. So as you cultivate loving kindness, then go on to contemplate the impermanence of your own body, subject to aging, sickness, death. And the mind can open to that truth and accept it better because of the basis of loving kindness. In the same way, those family members, friends, people you know that you've spread loving kindness to, one day you'll have to separate from them. So observe that truth. They too must die. We don't know who will die first, but we do know we will all die. So heal any ill will or bad feeling now while you're alive. Let it go. Improve your mind. Cultivate your mind to a higher level. And let go of the hindrances, the kilesas. See the truth of the way the world is. It's impermanent, suffering, not self. And little by little free your mind from delusions that cause attachment, which cause suffering. Cultivating loving kindness is the greatest gift for others. Makes your behavior peaceful, harmless. You're safe to other people, even if other people are not safe. They're aggressive or doing things that are harmful. You are not. So you're giving the greatest gift back to the world. If you have loving kindness for your parents, then you're repaying their kindness with your kindness. If you have loving kindness for the people you live with, work with, or even just encounter briefly, you're giving something back that's very good to all the people in the world who have helped you and assisted you in gross or subtle ways. So many people in the world have helped us directly, indirectly, to get to where we are, to live in the world day by day. We rely on many, many other people that we tend not to think about. So as we pause, we develop loving kindness. We're appreciating all the help we've received from others, the convenience, the ability to live in the world, go about our business. Part of that depends on other people, their cooperation, their assistance. So as we finish the old year, we can be grateful that we've got to this point. We can practice meditation, listen to the Dhamma. We can give something back to the world. And we can carry on meditating until you hear the sound of the bell.